Everybody against the Jews! This command was hollered by the coach of my Richardson, Texas junior high PE class. 3 other Jewish boys and I, the sum total of the Jew team, routinely trembled against the gymnasium wall while 100 Gentiles hurled balls at us. Get the Jew was popular. Sometimes it was dodgeball, other times simply a beatdown. 4'11" and geeky, I did not fare well in fights. The fetal position and I, close friends. After one such altercation, a boy named Mark Jenkins came over and kicked dirt in my face. A gangly kid with a pointy beak, freckles, and strawberry blonde wings. Jenkins leaned over and said, "Jew boy, go home and eat your bagels and yogurt." I almost laughed. I suffered my fair share of anti-Semitic slurs, but bagels and yogurt? My people do not eat these things together. Bagels and lox, yes. Bagels and cream cheese, absolutely. But no one walks into a Jewish deli and says, "Yonkel, give me my usual bagels, yogurt, and a coffee." But Jenkins' wrong-headed slur, as we'd say today, went viral. In the restroom urinal, my books were washed of the bagels and yogurt odor. In the cafeteria line, he'd push me to the floor. "No bagels and yogurt served here today, Jew boy." I looked up, my books scattered up, and I looked up at him, chuckling, and I wanted to hurt him. My parents did not understand. "Hal, surely you can talk it out with him." But one night, my father, a generally soft-spoken music professor, suggested something beautiful. "How about this? Grab this kid, dump a container of yogurt over his head, shove a bagel in his mouth, and tell him, 'Thought you might like some bagels and yogurt, prick.'" My father was joking. But I loved it. Humiliate Jenkins with the very thing that he was tormenting me with? Yes. I called my best friend, Sam, a Southern Baptist boy, whose parents were already unnerved with the fact that he was friends with a heathen. But Sam was in. Tuesday, Thanksgiving week, D-Day, or better, Y-Day. Sam and I decided to take my dad's idea and go big. 48 containers of yogurt. All flavors, fruit in the bottom, some stale bagels, all in a giant white bucket. It was beautiful. Leaving my house, we cut through alleys and yards, and finally, we arrived to Jenkins' front door. I hid, Sam knocked, and Jenkins' mother answered. "Is Mark here?" Sam asked. "Yes, but we're finishing dinner." "Tell him Sam's here. I just need to see him for a minute." My adrenaline spiked. This is the moment that I had been waiting for. Then Jenkins appeared. "Hey, man." And suddenly I panicked. What were we thinking? What if he doesn't come outside? What is going to happen to us after we do this? "Hey, man, can you come out here for a minute? I want to tell you something." "My grandparents are visiting." "What's up, man?" And suddenly all the chuckles. After he shoved me, hit me, threw my books in the urinal, they ran through my brain like a bullet train about to explode. My blood boiled, and I had to act. Planting my right foot, I took that bucket, and I brought it back like a catapult about to be sprung loose, and I screamed, "Ah! The entire contents of this bucket are coming for you, you prick!" And Jenkins ducked. The yogurt flew right out of that bucket. Some of it hit him, but mostly it went right past him, including the bucket, which I could not hold on to. Sam and I looked at each other and we screamed, "Ah! Ah!" And we bolted all the way back to my parents' house. My father, seeing us running up the stairs, the walkway, opened the door and immediately could tell some shit had gone down. "What the hell is going on, Hal?" We spilled in manic, frantic bursts, but then we were interrupted when Sam's father arrived and whisked Sam away. Somehow the word of our deed had already gotten out. So Dad and I decided we better go inside and tell Mom. We went inside, told my mother everything. Woman sat stiller than I had ever seen. Then in the front window, police lights. And then a large police officer with a trapezoidal chin and an oddly bulbous nose is looming in our doorway. And I realize in this moment, I'm not going to the doghouse. I'm going to the big house. "Is Hal Karp here?" the officer asked. "We are investigating an assault." "What kind of assault?" my father said. "Well, sir, that would be an assault with yogurt." "An assault with yogurt," my father echoed. "Officer, do you have a warrant?" "No, sir, but I can get one, and that's going to be a lot more work for everyone." "If you do not have a warrant, does my son have to talk to you?" "No, sir, but like I said, yes, more work for you, I think. I'm so sorry, officer, that you got to do your job. But right now, I'm going to do mine, and I'm going to tell you to please leave my house." Right now, the officer and I both stared at my father. This was not the by-the-book professor that I had grown up with. Slamming the door, the officer left. My father gave me this gentle nod. It was his idea, after all. My mother, who had not budged an inch, finally spoke. "Hal, there is no way you were going to get into a good college now." Remember, I was in 8th grade. We decided that I should call the Jenkins, apologize, pay for damages. Mr. Jenkins asked why I did it, so I told him everything, the whole bagels and yogurt saga. "Hal," he said, "can I please call you back?" And he did, asking if they could come over to our house so that Mark could apologize to me. Asked why he bullied me over Judaism, Mark had no answer. Couldn't even explain why being Jewish was so bad. This wasn't even about me, I realized. As a wise friend years later would tell me, "Hal, the bird doesn't shit on your car. The bird just shits." And so it was. And so it was with Mark Jenkins. I'd simply been parked in the wrong place. The Jenkins dropped the charges. I did not go to the big house for assault with yogurt. I worked odd jobs. I paid for the damages. I also slept better at night, and I walked a little taller. I was occasionally still bullied, but it never again had the same sting. My father once asked me years later if I had it to do all over again, the whole bagels and yogurt thing, would I do it any differently? Yes, I replied. More yogurt, better aim.